землі ми народились, тут нам співали солов'ята, тут наших пращурів могили, тут наша біла отча хата. На цій землі ми виростали, тут нашого життя фортеця, тут сонцем пахнуть сині далі, земля Україною зоветься, тут сонцем пахнуть сині далі, земля Україною зоветься. Україно, ти для мене єдина, Україно, ти для мене одна, хай любов наша піснею лине, Україно, моя рідна земля, хай любов наша піснею лине, Україно, моя рідна земля. На цій землі нам треба жити, добром цю землю засівати, щоб колосилось в полі жито, і щоб раділи батько й мати. На цій землі достойні люди, хай доля не гіршить полисна, тож ми були, ми є і будем, бо є в нас мати Україна. Тож ми були, ми є і будем, бо є в нас мати Україна. Україно, ти для мене єдина, Україно, ти для мене одна, хай любов наша піснею лине, Україно,
Good evening, friends of Ukrainian Catholic University. Glory be to Jesus Christ. My name is Donna Kurczynski, and I'm the producer of this telecast, UCU Strong Beyond COVID. It's been an amazing experience for all of us. And one of the things I have learned in this whole process is how intensely loyal everybody is to UCU. You know, you've got the folks at UCU. I communicated with them all the time. They provided us with the videotapes. They provided us with the contact with the speakers in Ukraine. They provided us the contacts with the musicians, photographs, videos, information, even helping us to make sure that we got all our facts straight. They did that. And then we have the folks in Toronto who were working under a somewhat duress because the COVID experience has been really tense there lately. So the folks in Toronto have been extraordinarily great. Then we have the folks in New York. We're working with people all around. And the folks in New York, they're like the traffic cops. Now, they are making sure that the items will appear on the screen for us at the time we want them to appear. And that's kind of critical. We couldn't do without him, and especially Roman. He has been extremely great. I also want to thank the students and the alumni of UCU. They have special words for the college, for the university. And I also want to thank the musicians. And we also have Michael Ilnetsky, who is our co-host here in Calgary, along with Yuri Dudula in The View. So it's going to be a real interesting back and forth. There are two speakers who caught my attention. You know by now that our theme is UCU Strong Beyond COVID. You know, these folks give us reason to believe that UCU definitely is strong. And the difference that the university is making in Ukraine and around the world, in fact. One is Dr. Sofia Opatska. She is the vice rector of UCU Academic Affairs. Dr. Opatska gives us a lowdown on how UCU initially responded to the pandemic. She tells us that within 2 days of the announcement of the pandemic, UCU was up and running online. And the reason they could do that is that UCU already had an infrastructure, an internet infrastructure. They were already online in some of their courses. That says a lot. And that, they're with it. They're with it. They have it. You know, the other person who gives us reason to be really excited about UCU is our keynote speaker, Natalia Pipa. Natalia is one of 7 graduates of UCU who was elected to the Parliament of Ukraine, the Rada. Natalia is passionate about raising the standards of education in Ukraine at all levels. Right now, she is in the opposition, but she's making waves. She's holding their feet to the fire. You'll love her. I really enjoyed her. She's just so real and she's so genuine, but she's passionate. She really gives it. And she thanks UCU for fulfilling her personal goal. She said she was an insurance agent before she went to UCU. She got there and she says, it changed my life. It changed my life. You know, I could go on and on and on talking about UCU and about doing this show. I just want to get you excited. I want to get you warmed up for this show. So relax, grab a cup of tea or maybe a glass of vodka or a beer or a wine and a few snacks and relax and enjoy the show. It shouldn't be much more than an hour and a quarter, maybe an hour and a half, but you'll enjoy it. It's lots of entertainment. It moves fast. But I want you to remember why we're here. We're here to support UCU, especially scholarships for the students. That's the bottom line. We understand that. That's the bottom line. We're here to support UCU. And what I want to say is coming up right after this video, we're going to play a video about Calgary and from a Ukrainian perspective. It's just a 3.5-minute little video telling us who we are, showing us where we are, not only in town, but in the rural parts. We're a rural community as well. And it'll tell us who we are. And I hope you enjoy that as well. So bless you all. Have a great night. Remember why we're here.
Січень 2020 року. 100 випускників 6 магістерських програм востаннє входять до університету в якості його студентів.
Є вузька галузь, яка мене цікавить, це соціологія з використанням великих даних. Я хотів би присвятити своє життя, хоча б його частинку, саме дослідженню людської поведінки і покращенню деяких процесів соціальних, які зараз відбуваються.
Університет мені насправді дав багато вміння мислити, вміння бачити в людях добро і вміння зберегти християнські цінності.
Я знаю, як реагувати на людський біль, як допомагати, але при цьому і піклуватись про себе. Це називається фахова соціальна робота.
Я завжди відчував бажання рухатись в академічній траєкторії, але після Майдану, після окупації Криму мене якось викинуло за межі академії. Я брав участь у війні, у революційних подіях. І коли нарешті зміг трохи адаптуватись, вже знайти роботу і стати трохи на ноги, я зрозумів, що тут є університет, який мені видається найкращим в Україні.
Середній бал ЗНО вступників до університету постійно зростає. Це стосується як вже сталих, так і щойно започаткованих програм.
Попереду у нас багато різних наборів бакалаврів справа, але ви завжди залишитеся унікальними, тому що історія, як правило, пам'ятає тільки перших.
50 молодих осіб з 8 регіонів України стали першими студентами бакалаврської програми «Справа».
Через те, що в мене з самого дитинства така загострене почуття справедливості.
У мене тато правник, і я ним дуже пишаюся. Я хотіла би бути як він.
Абсолютна більшість цих молодих людей мали можливість навчатися за кошт держави. Але обрали вони приватний університет. Чому?
Це рейтинги, це найвищий рейтинг в Україні.
Тому що УКУ – це є європейські стандарти з християнськими цінностями і етичністю.
Ну і колектив, тобто вчитись з розумними набагато цікавіше.
Адже це досвід, за яким люди їдуть зі всієї країни сюди.
Чи є можлива в Україні правнича освіта європейського зразка? Пошук відповіді на це питання триває.
Зміни в українському суспільстві, які творяться завдяки університету, завдяки студентам, викладачам, випускникам університету, вони є неможливі без зміни правової системи. А змінити правову систему можна лише змінивши юридичну освіту.
Близько половини студентів університету отримують знижки в оплаті за навчання. Тарас Курилко отримує соціальну стипендію.
Така ситуація. Все так не буде. Надіюсь, що буде краще, що вернеться і буде тут.
Батько Тараса на заробітках у Польщі. Мама живе у селі Хватів і працює у ветеринарній аптеці.
В 2014 році тато Тарасів добровольцем пішов на війну. Ну, то для мене був шок, бо я не сподівалася і не думала, він же ж не молодий. Ну, 50 років, то вже, знаєте, але йому було шкода тих молодих хлопців.
Тарас є організатором найбільшої студентської акції «Ніч в УКУ».
Загалом нам вдалося на кожній такій події зібрати близько 150 студентів. І, як на мене, такий досвід такого проєкту показує на те, наскільки активне студентське самоврядування в УКУ, наскільки воно є багатогранним, обширним. І то нам вдалося побачити, що все ж таки скільки багато проєктів існує в університеті і як можуть вони співдіяти разом. І це був дійсно унікальний досвід.
Що це вона за університет, в якому храм займає центральне місце?
Десь, якщо якийсь є важливий екзамен чи якесь практичне заняття, перед яким трохи хвилююся, то це таким стає якимось прибіжчим. Трохи втамувався, приземлився, подякував за ті якісь знання чи навпаки там поділився переживаннями з Богом, і тоді стає якось легше, стає якось розуміння того, що ти йдеш вже назад за руку з Богом на той екзамен чи на те практичне заняття.
У храмі відбувається постійний процес створення нового. Цього року група митців завершила оздоблення мозаїчного купола церкви Святої Софії Премудрості Божої. Також і в час карантину храм залишається місцем, де зустріч спільноти, де молитва завжди триває. Карантин ускладнив життя університету, але ненадовго.
І до речі, як в нас четвер сказали, що карантин, а вже в п'ятницю у нас почалися Zoom-лекції.
Опитування показало, що 90% навчання в онлайн перевели без втрат.
Почати дистанційне навчання для мене якихось таких технічних моментів у мене не було зовсім проблем. Викладачі на нашій програмі досить швидко відповідають і з ними можна комунікувати без жодних проблем.
Але насправді дуже багато речей почав набагато краще робити, друкувати англійською. Це дуже круто, тому що приходили на англійську, ми здебільшого говорили, а тут треба дуже багато ще писати домашні завдання.
Абсолютна більшість студентів та викладачів переконані, що навантаження зросло.
Ми хочемо бачити молоду людину, яка буде приходити в 25-му році на свою роботу чи в 30-му році на свою роботу і буде абсолютно готова і професійно, і морально, і етично, і психологічно, і навичково діяти і взаємодіяти в цьому невідомому новому світі. І це є один комплекс задач, перед яким нам вже раніше постав, і лише криза зараз пов'язана з пандемією і з економічною кризою, тільки пришвидшила це думання.
Ще задовго до карантину УКУ інвестував у розвиток онлайн-освіти. Основною базою стала система CMS УКУ. Ще до карантину у ній було 134 онлайн-курси.
Цього року ми запроваджуємо практику навчання на свіжому повітрі. Для цього ми встановили тент, в якому зможе одночасно навчатися до 20 студентів.
Для безпеки студентів та викладачів всі приміщення в університеті переобладнані для того, щоб дотримуватись норм фізичної дистанції. Випускні урочистості бакалаврських програм цього року відбулись онлайн.
Привіт! Радий вітати нас усіх на цьому випускному.
В УКУ я почала думати, не просто транслювати щось почути раніше.
Я провела неймовірну кількість часу в центрі Шептицького, в аудиторіях, трапезній.
Випускний у нас виявиться нестандартний. Але кожне нестандартне завдання – це також і нестандартний досвід.
1, 2, 3. Звершилося.
Slava Isusu Christu. Glory be to Jesus Christ. Welcome and vitaimo to the 12th annual Calgary Friends of the Ukrainian Catholic University fundraiser titled UCU Strong Beyond COVID. My name is Michael Olnitsky and I'm coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. While we wish we could meet in person, as we have done for the past 11 years, we are harnessing the power of technology. The upside of presenting virtually means that we can reach an audience outside of Calgary, including my great aunt, Tatalida, my cousin Yosef, my in-laws Ron and Chris in Winnipeg. Welcome. I understand my sisters are watching as well. Nina, Roma, Ivira, я вам дуже дякую за вашу присутність. Our technology platform allows for audience participation. Please use the comment boxes available in Zoom and YouTube. We would love to share your comments and notes of encouragement for UCU, its faculty and staff. Please also tell us where you're watching from, and we'll welcome you in that way. And look at that, I already have a number of texts. The first one is from Rich from Edmonton. And Rich proposes a toast to the organizers, so please raise your glass, and to the organizers of this evening's event and to the success of this evening. Na zdrowie.
На здоров'я.
I will read one other text. Greetings from Sarah Tomney, St. Mary's University Dean of Education. So glad to be here. St. Mary's University education students have had such a tremendous experience student teaching in Lviv, and we will learn more about the UCU and St. Mary's University relationship in our program. The organizing committee of this event has prepared a very interesting program for you. In addition to learning how the Ukrainian Catholic University is managing through the pandemic and beyond, the program will feature success stories of current students, alumni, and faculty. Of course, no Ukrainian event would be complete without entertainment. So on this cold and snowy winter night in Calgary, warm up that bowl of borscht, grab your kovdra, sit back and enjoy learning about a truly remarkable educational institution. My co-host for tonight, live from Lviv, is UCU graduate Yuri Didula. Hi, Yuri. Why don't you start by telling us what time it is in Lviv?
Thank you, Michael. You know, it's a great honor to be the co-host of this beautiful event. And I'm very happy, despite the fact that it's 4 a.m. in Lviv currently. I am surprised that I can be smiling and happy at this moment. Thank you for having me co-host this event. I must say that this ceremony is very special to me. I remember very well my visit to Calgary back in 2018 and how much love and care you guys have towards UCU and our institution. And those memories and feelings, they strengthen my belief that UCU has a very important mission to accomplish. And the fact that so many people from around the world believe in us and support us, they give us confidence to go towards this mission. As a graduate of UCU, I feel very passionately for the success of this institution, especially in the times of COVID. UCU as an environment gave me the opportunity to build my social mission and to understand what is my social role. It happened that after UCU, I lead one of the strongest youth organizations in Ukraine, Building Ukraine Together. We have started in 2014 with just rebuilding homes for families whose homes were destroyed by the Russians in the east of Ukraine. And today we have transformed into a national volunteering platform that engages over 3,000 young people as volunteers in the last 6 years. We managed to rebuild homes for 270 families. We established 30 youth centers around Ukraine that provide informal education opportunities for young people. And all this success would not be possible without the background and the network and the confidence that I received while being a student at UCU. It's not just the skills and the knowledge that was provided by the university, but the confidence and the faith that I can make a difference, that I can make this country strong. And this brings me back to the topic of our tonight's ceremony, UCU Strong Beyond COVID. We know that all our efforts would not require the hand of God. We therefore ask Bishop David Matyuk of the Edmonton Ukrainian Catholic Eparchy to invoke the guidance of our Lord Jesus Christ on the support of the Ukrainian Catholic University in Lviv. Your Grace, Vladyko.
Slava Isus Christu, glory be to Jesus Christ. I'm Bishop David with the Ukrainian Catholic Eparchy of Edmonton. And I'm delighted to bring greetings to the friends of the Ukrainian Catholic University in Calgary and indeed throughout the entire world. This morning at St. Joseph's Cathedral, we did the best that we could do for you, and we offered the Divine Liturgy, where we offered several petitions and raised the good works of the Ukrainian Catholic University and all of its friends throughout the world before the Lord. The Gospel spoke to us about the rock, that Jesus is our foundation. And all that the students and the professors, the donors, the benefactors, all of us are grounded in Jesus Christ. So whatever it is that we do by way of education, by what we do by sponsorship, but whatever we do by spiritual growth, we're rooted in our faith and in our Lord. So we offer thanksgiving. We're between Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving, and many of our benefactors come from North America. So the Eucharist, Eucharistia, meaning in Greek, thanksgiving, we offer first and foremost thanksgiving for all of those that journey together with the Ukrainian Catholic University in Lviv, which is a worldwide institution and blessing as this in bringing together so many people for a common cause. Thanksgiving. But second, we also want to offer blessings to those that go above and beyond the call of duty is to raise awareness and to support the good works of the Ukrainian Catholic University in building bridges. Today, as this through the pandemic, we find we're so united throughout the entire world. One global family, a family of faith, a family in Christ. And so we can have such an impact from in one part of the world for another in support of the good works of the university. And we want to raise, especially, is this new Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, of course, but of the Ukrainian Catholic University in Lviv, of MacEwan University here in Edmonton, and of St. Mary's University in Calgary. What a beautiful new Trinity is this as we recognize these memorandums of understanding and greater collaboration. So thank you to everyone that journeys with us, that supports education, especially in the spirit of the Ukrainian Catholic Church. But we also want to bless our donors and benefactors. May God reward you 100-fold for your commitment and for your love. So, may God's blessings be upon all of us. Slava Isusu Christu, glory be to Jesus Christ.
Слава Ісусу Христу! Добрий вечір. Мене звати Андрій Ільницький. Я очолюю відділ друзів Українського католицького університету в місті Калгарі. Я вітаю всіх наших гостей сьогодні на нашій передачі, особливо тих, котрі перший раз будуть познайомлені з нашим українським Калгарі та нашими зусиллями на підтримку УКУ протягом останніх 12 років. I'm Andrew Ilnitsky, and I'm with the Calgary Friends of UCU. I welcome warmly all of our guests throughout Canada to our 2020 event. Because of the COVID epidemic, we have been accustomed over the last number of years to meet in person in a gala banquet and a very joyous occasion, and we've become accustomed to this. But the COVID epidemic has changed that. We have been forced out of our comfort zone, and hence we have organized this online virtual event. We are immensely proud of our accomplishments during the past 12 years. And what is it that keeps us going? First of all, it is the fact that the university that was first envisaged by Metropolitan Andrei Sheptytsky a century ago has become a reality and is today a leading institution in Ukraine. Two, the loyalty of our supporters and donors who have participated in the maturity of UCU during the last couple of decades. And three, the love and support of our family and spouses, whom I would like to acknowledge tonight. Early on, we determined that it would be very important to support the needs of students via the UCU Scholarship Program in 2020. We thank everyone who is able to provide financial support this year to assist UCU in nurturing future leaders for Ukraine and for the Church. We know that we serve a higher purpose. Doing good things means initially giving more than we receive, but somehow maybe perhaps not mysteriously, these things materialize that we get for the Church and for society in Ukraine and for our community in Canada, many, many benefits. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's presentation, that you will find it interesting and informative. And now we will return to Pan Yuri in Lviv.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew, for this nice introduction. And now we would like to invite Father Bogdan Prach, Director of UCU, who is leading the university in this hard times of COVID-19 crisis. As a rector this evening, he will give us a reason to continue believing in UCU, its students, and most important, its place in the fabric of Ukraine. We welcome Father Bogdan Prach.
Glory to Jesus Christ. Dear friends of the Ukrainian Catholic University, I want to extend my heartfelt greetings to you and your families. Вітаю вас усіх. Університет сьогодні є сильнішим. Хочу вас запевнити, що ми завжди, коли були, коли є і коли будуть виклики в нашому університеті, ми завжди стараємося дуже сильно працювати, бути зібраними, давати відповіді на виклики, які зустрічаємо кожного дня. Дорогі, ви нас знаєте. Ми часто зустрічалися, коли кожного року я мав велику честь бути разом з вами в Калгарі і в Альберті. Сьогодні ми не можемо цього здійснити, але духовно ми є разом. Ми побороли практично всі більші труднощі, пов'язані з COVID-19. Ми маємо сьогодні студентів на нашому кампусі. Лекції проводяться згідно регулярного графіку. Наш бюджет стараємося збалансувати. Працівники виходять на роботу і онлайн, і офлайн, так як приписано в різних розпорядженнях. Це щодо життя нашого університету. Але ми тішимося кожною вашою молитвою. Ми чекаємо на кожну вашу підтримку. І до зустрічі. Нехай Господь Бог вам благословить. Glory to Jesus Christ.
So we're going to ad-lib a little bit, and so bear with us. The Ukrainian Catholic University does not receive any government funding and relies on tuition, dormitory fees, and private donations to meet its operating expenses. Over the past 11 years, the Calgary Friends of the Ukrainian Catholic University has raised $500,000 for the university and its programs. This is quite an achievement. Equally important, the Calgary Group has raised awareness of the school, its programs, and increased the supporter base in Western Canada significantly. I am confident that with your support today and in the future, the next $500,000 can be raised in a fraction of the time that it took to raise the first $500,000. As a donor, you join like-minded people across the world. There are Friends of UCU groups across the United States, Great Britain, France, Germany, Italy, and Australia. Now more than ever, UCU needs your help. Rental income from student housing has dried up as classes have gone online. Throughout tonight's program, I encourage you to donate generously and donate often. On the screen, you'll be able to see a thermometer, which will track our progress towards reaching our goal of $50,000. Donating is very easy. You can do it online at ucef.ca. That's ucef.ca. And for those of you who are visual learners, you can also do it old school by picking up the phone and calling our friend Oksana at the UCEF office in Toronto. Her phone number, 1-866-871-8007. And I'll tell you, she is anxiously waiting to speak with somebody. She is staying up late, so please let's give her something to do. So what does UCU Strong Beyond COVID really mean? How has UCU remained strong during the pandemic? Dr. Sofia Opatska is the Dean and Chair of the Lviv Business School at UCU. She is also the Vice Rector of UCU Academic Affairs. She will answer this question. Welcome, Dr. Opatska from Lviv.
Dear friends of UCU from Calgary, Edmonton, and all over Canada, it is a great pleasure to address you tonight with updates from the Ukrainian Catholic University and our new reality in COVID-19 era. We, like the whole world, were forced by quarantine to change our life rules at the end of March. Most of us were not ready for the long marathon and hoped for a quick return to normal life. However, in a week or two, we realized that the quarantine would last a long time. And after 1 month, we knew for sure that a new reality had come. Either change or die. From the first day of the quarantine, UCU managed to implement distance learning. The Innovative Educational Technology Center has been operating at UCU for several years. It actively helps the faculty to work with the courses in a hybrid format. Long before the pandemic started, we had set a goal at our university to have all courses online. Most faculty members joined the process, so we had a good start at the beginning of the quarantine. And when all educational institutions were closed, the educational process at UCU did not stop for a single day, but gradually switched to online. We conducted daily webinars, our faculty actively assessed themselves and continued to learn and work with the new tools. Our students are getting used to new realities, submitting and presenting projects, course papers and final papers remotely. The average real-time class attendance in spring semester was 80%, despite challenges which our students faced with return to their homes, like slow internet, sometimes lack of physical space to study. UCU has also joined the Coursera program. Our students, faculty and staff have free access to all educational materials on the platform. This is a good opportunity for everyone to improve their knowledge and skills in the global learning environment. There are some faculties which consider the online format more natural, for example, the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Some found it harder at first. However, together, we practice approach like in great startups, to make students experience each new day of online learning better than before. Online learning requires empathy, understanding, and communication. Both faculty and students go through the process of adaptation. That is why it's important to be patient. Every fourth student at UCU says that they need psychological or spiritual support while studying. This is a great challenge, and we admire how actively everyone has been involved in these changes. We had our first graduation party online, and it was exciting. I think it's even harder to organize this celebration remotely than live. We are proud of our graduates. These are real friends of our university. Some of them, mostly from graduate programs, have already joined the UCU sponsors list. Despite the quarantine and economic challenges, UCU has had a successful admission campaign. More than 50% of freshmen had an opportunity to study free of charge in other universities. However, they have chosen UCU. Thanks to your support, we managed to provide scholarships for talented students in need, and 236 students have already received scholarships. In the COVID-19 terms, we organized convenient and secure conditions for applying to the university. In July, we conducted a students and teachers survey, and most admitted that they would like to return to campus. Some of the classes started on campus in August. Some groups decided to study completely online. Majority have a combination. The key principle for UCU is that both faculty and students have a choice, and everyone has to make a decision how to teach or study. This academic year is a year of compromises, and unfortunately we had to make certain sacrifices as well. For example, at UCU we always put student integration first. Mixed classes at elective courses and core curriculum, living learning community on campus allowed us to integrate students. However, because of coronavirus, we had to make difficult decisions and limit communication between students, as well as close the campus for external visitors. We are criticized for this, but now security and health of our community comes first. The new challenges of various formats are global. They do not apply to any particular country. We all share them. This pandemic is a good opportunity for all of us to rethink what is really important in our lives and return to core values. I'm really grateful to all the friends and sponsors who have been supporting our community during this difficult time. We know that it is just as difficult for you. Although the quarantine has closed the official borders, it has not closed our hearts. We are open to communication, service, and cooperation. After all, the pandemic and virtual communication has erased all borders.
crisis is the best time to support each other, share your own small victories and successes, and inspire others. Thank you.
We've received some greetings from people who are watching online. Greetings from Teresa Kachuk. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If not, you're now an honorary Ukrainian, the VP of Advancement and Campus Services at St. Mary's University. Good evening, everyone. I'm also happy to be here this evening representing St. Mary's University, and I'm so thankful for our wonderful partnership with UCU. We also have greetings from Alex Kuzma in far-off Connecticut, USA. Great to see so many wonderful friends from Calgary. And also from Metropolitan Boris Gudjak. Greetings from Philadelphia. We'll hear further from Metropolitan Gudjak later in the program. Also like to introduce at this time Yevhen Roman, the chairperson of the Ukrainian Canadian Education Foundation, which is the charitable wing in Canada, which issues our tax receipts for your donations.
Good day. Доброго дня. Слава Ісусу Христу. My name's Eugene Roman. I represent the Ukrainian Catholic Education Foundation for Canada. We're the fundraising arm for the Ukrainian Catholic University here in Canada. Today we're having a telecast, and thank you for joining us. During this telecast, we'll be raising funds for the university for the much needed programs which produce great students and great scholarship in Ukraine and throughout the world. Please don't be shy in making your donations. We also need your feedback, and the feedback button's at the bottom of your screen. Please provide as much feedback as you can. To kick things off, my wife Renata and I will be making a donation today of $1,000 as part of the telecast. Enjoy the telecast. Have a great time. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for your leadership and thank you for your kind donation. I'm sure that many will match that, perhaps even exceed that. Now I'd like to get to the entertainment portion of the program, and Yuri and Lviv will introduce our first entertainer.
Thank you, Michael. We always say that music is the lifeblood of Ukraine, and now we will try to share some of our identity. Oksana Mucha, who makes Lviv her home, shares her passion with her voice tonight. Please welcome Oksana Mucha.
Привіт, мене звати Оксана Муха. Вітаю всіх канадських друзів УКУ, особливо Калгарі та Едмонтон, а також всіх, хто сьогодні є на цій чудовій онлайн-події. Дякую за вашу жертовність, за вашу підтримку, яка надзвичайно потрібна УКУ в цей непростий час для всіх. Я як співачка, яка мріє, щоб українська пісня, українська культура йшла по всьому світу, надзвичайно вражена тим, що саме ви підтримуєте нашу українську молодь і вірите в нашу державу. Дякую вам, що ви підтримуєте УКУ, дякую, що ви сьогодні з нами, і записала вам коротеньке привітання, кілька чудових пісень з мого львівського дому. Нехай вони зігрівають ваше серце. Запрошую вас зі мною поспівати чудову українську пісню, український романс. Ніч, яка місячна, зоряна, ясна, видно, хоч голки збирай. Вийди, кохана, я працею зморена, хоч на хвилиночку в гай. Вийди, кохана, я працею зморена, хоч на хвилиночку в гай. Сядемо в купочці тут під калиною, і над панами я пан. Глянь, моя рибонько, срібною хвилею стелиться в полі туман. Глянь, моя рибонько, срібною хвилею стелиться в полі туман. Ти не лякайся, що ніженькі босії змочиш в холодну росу. Я ж тебе, мила, я аж до хатиноньки сам на руках віднесу. Я ж тебе, мила, я аж до хатиноньки сам на руках віднесу. Ніч, яка місячна, зоряна, ясна, видно, хоч голки збирай.
зморена, хочу на хвилиночку в гай. Вийди, кохана, я працею зморена, хочу на хвилиночку в гай.
Thank you, Oksana. As a graduate of UCU, I know and understand very well the importance of the university, wherever it is located. St. Mary's University in Calgary is indeed among those institutions that is truly making a change. St. Mary's has had a successful exchange program with the UCU for almost 10 years. Students from UCU come to study at St. Mary's, and students from St. Mary's go over to Lviv and share their skills and knowledge with their young people locally. One of the key leaders of this exchange program between UCU and St. Mary's is Dr. Jerry Turcott. He arrived in St. Mary's in 2011 from Australia, and under his leadership, St. Mary's has achieved a reputation of the foremost college of education in training of Catholic teachers. We warmly welcome Dr. Jerry Turcott, the president of St. Mary's University in Calgary.
Good evening, distinguished guests. Slava Isuzu Christus. I'm delighted to offer my greetings at this remarkable event, which celebrates the outstanding story of the Ukrainian Catholic University and the incredible work of the Ukrainian Catholic Education Foundation. I'm especially pleased because the partnership between St. Mary's University and Ukrainian Catholic University in Lviv actually constitutes the oldest exchange agreement in our university's history. And this partnership makes perfect sense. Our institutions pride themselves on celebrating the foundational Catholic identity which champions ethical learning, faith in action, and a passion for social justice. Over the years, our student exchanges have led to enduring friendships and deeper ties that resonate now more than ever. In 2017, I was fortunate enough to travel to UCU and to meet with Rector Father Boden Prach, and to visit the remarkable UCU campus while re-signing our exchange agreement. It was particularly meaningful because not only was I able to see and experience firsthand the amazing campus and institution that UCU is, but I was also able to reconnect with all of our Ukrainian students who briefly called St. Mary's home. The students spoke movingly about the incredible impact that their St. Mary's experience had had on them, and the remarkable friendships they made while they were here. Our own students say the same thing about their time at UCU. Without a doubt, the St. Mary's UCU partnership changes lives for the better. It meant a great deal to me to hear the positive stories about St. Mary's directly from the Ukrainian students themselves, because at St. Mary's, we pride ourselves on our ability to connect on a personal level and on getting to know our students as individuals. While UCU students have participated in any and all of our 36 academic programs, the St. Mary's students who travel to UCU do so as part of their official Bachelor of Education practicums. As many of you know, St. Mary's offers the only Bachelor of Education degree in Western Canada designed specifically for the formation of teachers for the Catholic school system. Their time in Ukraine is therefore part of the wide experiential learning that all of our students acquire at St. Mary's, reminding them of the importance of cross-cultural and global interconnections. This, it seems to me, is more important than ever. At a time when the world has been changed irrevocably by COVID, it has also been reminded of how connected we are and how much we need each other to create a better and a safer world. COVID has reminded us all of the importance of our faith life and of the critical role we can each play in supporting the most vulnerable in our communities. I know firsthand from many of the UCU students that they have gone back from their education out into the world, and they are using the experience that they gained to improve their communities for the better. A university, especially a Catholic university, teaches its students that they need to take their gifts and transport them into the community to change our world for the better. This isn't a cliche. It's what Jesus compelled us to do. Love thy neighbor as you do yourself. It's in the UCU St. Mary's DNA. So thank you to everyone who is here this evening in support of the important mission of our universities to foster outstanding, empowered, faithful citizens of our global planet. Good night and God bless. Slava Isuzu Christus.
Thank you, Dr. Turcott. I'd like to acknowledge Olga Zarachinska, who sent a text from UCU in Lviv. She's the Director of Development. It's great to see all of you today from Lviv. Thank you. Continue sending those texts in. Tell us where you're from. Tell us how you're enjoying the program, and tell us how you're supporting the university morally and with your prayers. So in the last number of minutes, we have had a solid number of donations pledged to UCU. So thank you. Can we bring the thermometer up now, as promised earlier? If not, it'll keep coming, so bring it up. Keep those donations coming. Perhaps you celebrated a milestone birthday this year, like 75 or 70 or 50 or 97. Why not donate your age? Why not pledge a certain amount for each grandchild you have? Or perhaps you've received a scholarship at some point in your life and you're now in a position to pay it forward. Every dollar counts as we make our way towards $50,000. But I also received a text from Oksana, and she's only received one phone call, and she's pretty lonely. So please call her, say hi, give her your credit card information. She would be happy to set you up on a monthly donation plan as well, if that works for you. Here again is her number, 1-866-871-8007. Your donations help fund exchange programs between UCU and a number of Canadian universities, as Dr. Turcott mentioned. To date, 11 students have participated in this program. Bogdana Kunikavich is one such student that Dr. Turcott welcomed to Calgary in the spring of 2019. Bogdana is originally from Stry in Western Ukraine. When she graduates from UCU, she plans to make a difference in the private sector in Ukraine as a human resource professional. Please welcome Bogdana Kunikavich, presenting from Lviv.
Scale down this cliff. Let not the heat nor the cold there stop us, said Ivan Franko, one of the greatest national spirit personalities in Ukrainian history. The cliff for us as students depicts all the accomplishments we need to achieve and all those changes we are eager to reach as a nation. From its origin, UCU has stayed strong. It transcends the underground of the totalitarian Soviet system, everything and everyone who attempted to destroy its essence. UCU stays strong beyond the virus of destroying mentality, so there is no question it will stay strong beyond COVID. UCU's strength in its flexibility to change, its willingness to implement the modern approaches, and its ability to bond those two things to the fundamentals. To survive in a time of change, you need to hold to your core. And in the case of UCU, we have it from the beginning. The most prominent example of these qualities I experienced it while I spent the semester abroad at St. Mary's, Calgary, due to UCU mobility program. UCU manifests flexibilities to let me change the study process and get that international experience. It gave me the belief that I'm strong enough to be a student at St. Mary's. It always cherished the fundamental values in me, so I could be the good representative of UCU abroad. Today, I'm honored to say the words of appreciation to both universities that gave that opportunity to me. I feel confident about my future, even in such an uncertain time, because I know that I have the support of my alma mater, which in its way had the support from you. So scale down this cliff. We have all the opportunities we need. And what the most important, we have the support of you, our valuable community.
As I mentioned, music is a lifeblood of Ukrainians, and we will now try to share some additional parts of our musical identity and introduce you to another extraordinary Ukrainian artistic group on Simon's Pillars, на Симонових стовпах, which is a student theater group at UCU. It's been together for over 4 years, and it basically is a cultural experience. Not only do the singers and performers excite you musically, it's a visual and artistic and theatrical experience. The members include student, faculty, staff, and musicians, not just from the UCU, but from the entire Lviv arts world. Simon's Pillars sing traditional folk songs, religious songs, and the classics. And their name comes from the saint Simon, who was a Christian practitioner and a mystic who was located in a tall pillar, drawing crowds of people. The mystic beauty of that pillar is similar to the choir. Here is the Simon's Pillar with the spirited song Chorny Brovi, the dark eyebrows. They sing, I will climb the hill where I can find my dear Ivanko. Let's enjoy some of the sound of the Simon's Pillars.
We will hear again from this group later on in the program. I'd like to share another message from Ina Platonova, who is the president of the Calgary branch of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress. She writes, I was blessed to visit and sing with Calgary's Ukrainian choir Korynia at the Ukrainian Catholic University in August 2019. I'm so proud and grateful for the Calgary Friends of UCU for organizing such a tremendous support for Ukrainian students and UCU education for 12 years. On behalf of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress Calgary branch, I'm grateful for this tremendous ongoing support for UCU led by our community leaders. While COVID-19 presents many challenges in our support work, I am truly amazed at the event organized tonight and feel so proud of our community in Calgary. Ukraine's future is bright with such support. Thank you, Ina. When we ask ourselves, why are we here tonight? The answer is simple. It's for the students, it's for their futures, it's for making a difference in Ukraine. Darina Sudachik is a student at UCU and president of the UCU Student Parliament, which is equivalent to the Students' Union at our universities. She sends her greetings.
Hello to all, my name is Darina Sudachik. I'm studying ethics, politics, economics on the Faculty of Social Sciences on the 4th grade. During my studying, I was very involved in many different organizations on the students' life, and now I'm part of the two biggest one. One of them is Mindon. We are creating kind of fun and intellectual games for students or just guests. It's kind of pub quizzes, but without pubs. And the second, I'm the president of student government. I'm grateful to be part of the UCU community because during my studying, I've met so great and interesting people that I may say that many of them are now very important part of my life. So really thank you so much for support students, for support UKU and the whole organization. And I'm happy that today we are all part of this incredible online event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darina. I feel what she's saying. Those are the feelings that I've had when I was a student back in 2006. Now I will try to introduce you to another identity of Ukraine, which is the fact that we are very multi-talented. And Father Bogdan Prach combines his presidency with the role of a head cheerleader at UKU. And now he will bring his unique musical talents on the accordion and share with us. Please.
This is a small gift for you, Ukrainian music.
Thank you, Father Bogdan. You know, I feel very special, and I guess you too, because hearing Father Bogdan playing the accordion is not something that everybody can do. This is a unique evening for us. And now we will try to move to the Alumni Association of UKU, and we understand that the university feels that it is accomplishing the mission when they have the Alumni Association that supports the university and that feels that they want to give back because of what they have received during their studies. And tonight we will have Ostap Malczynski, who is the loyal alumnus of UKU, who will share his story and his gratitude for the people who also support the university.
Glory to Jesus Christ. Dear friends of UKU in Canada, my name is Ostap Malczynski and I'm really glad to welcome you here on behalf of the Alumni Association of UKU. I've graduated from BA History and MA in Non-Profit Organization Management. UKU for me and for all students and alumni here is first of all a place like our own home. Here on the campuses, among others, we feel not only comfortable but safe. Here we know that our beginnings will have full support that is provided not only by the administration or teachers, but also from other students. We are a big family, and the feelings of this lives not only within these walls, but also beyond them, where we can find other alumni from the university. My main point is UKU provides not only best teachers, high-quality education and comfortable rooms for studying, but also UKU raises us as a good Christians for our communities, and UKU raises us as responsible citizens for Ukraine and as new leaders for this world. But all of this cannot exist without help of those who believe in our goals, without people with good hearts who have the same values as we have, without people who want to change Ukraine and the world, without people like you. So again, thank you for your support and may God bless you. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory be forever. Thank you, Ostap. We received a timely welcome from Maria Ivaniu, watching the telecast from Toronto. She is a UCU alumni, so that was very, very timely. So thank you. I'm also sharing an exciting message from Yevhen and Renata Roman in Toronto, who writes, Renata and I will add an additional $1,000, bringing our total donation to $2,000 for our passion project. Yulia Stech from Toronto also writes, greetings from Toronto. Thank you for such a great and inspiring event, and thank you for all the work that you do. This organizing committee has really outdone itself. This is a phenomenal event, even with a handful of little glitches that I'm sure nobody is noticing but the organizers, who behind me are pacing nervously, but I think they're happy with the event. So let's give them a round of applause. I don't know if you can hear it, but they have done a tremendous, tremendous job. And if we can bring that thermometer up again, please. And in addition to what we've just announced, there's been a phenomenal pledge of $1,650. This is an incredible donation, as it will it'll fund a full scholarship for one semester at UCU. What an amazing job, and thank you so much. You may also see that that the organizers are wearing these wonderful face coverings, and I know you can get face coverings for free when you go to church every Sunday, which is nice. But if you would like to have one of these, I'm certain that my friend Oksana in Toronto, if you call her at this number with your credit card information, say the number, 1-866-871-8007. Maybe I need to say it in Ukrainian as well to encourage people. Один, вісім, шість, шість, вісім, сім, один, вісім, зеро, зеро, сім. That's 007 in case you feel like James Bond, and call my friend Oksana. Ask her for a face mask once you've made your donation, and she will send that to you. Continue with our entertainment. One of Canada's musical treasures is John Stech, pianist, composer, and teacher. He is an international jazz musician who grew up in Edmonton in the Ukrainian community. He attended Grant MacEwan College before going to McGill University in Montreal to earn his music degree. John's musical accolades are many, including 6 Juno nominations. Junos are Canada's highest artistic award, and he is a prestigious New York Steinway artist with 16 albums to his name. John fuses familiar Ukrainian folk songs into his radical jazz style. Here's John Stech on the piano.
Hello, UCU and friends. My name is John Stech, and it is my honor to help out with this cause and play some Ukrainian music. So I'm going to do a medley of Ukrainian folk songs called Zabava, and I'm going to do the abridged, shortened version of it. And it's made up of Ukrainian folk songs and a few of my own that sound like they fit. And it starts with kind of a dulcimer cymbala intro.
That was excellent. I'd like to share a greeting from Dr. Turcot. This is a specific message for Bogdana in Ukraine. Well done, Bogdana. Congratulations, UCEF. Our thanks and support from UCU from all of us at St. Mary's University in Calgary. Dr. Turcot really emphasized the importance of the relationship and really that UCU and UCEF were the trendsetters in having the first relationship, exchange relationship with St. Mary's University. Now I'd like to introduce Ashley Rollheiser, who is a graduate of Grant MacEwan University and who was also an exchange student at UCU. She has a passion for international politics. While at UCU, she organized and prepared UCU students for a Model United Nations in Germany. In the following video, Ashley describes her experiences in Lviv.
I'm Ashley Rollheiser. I graduated from MacEwan University in Edmonton, and I've been involved with UCU as the director and co-founder of the Canada-Ukraine Model United Nations project. My experience working with the students of UCU was unlike any other. My involvement with the Model United Nations Club at MacEwan opened doors for me to be able to work with UCU internationally. In 2019, the Ukrainian Resource and Development Center at MacEwan and I started brainstorming on how to get UCU students involved in the largest Model United Nations simulation in the world. Time was at a premium. The UCU students never faltered. In what takes most students an entire academic year to learn, the UCU students learned in only a few business days. They showed their true spirit and their intense desire to make the world a better place. UCU students have certainly stood out for me. Not only are they fluent in professional English, but they also have a very profound understanding of international relations and current events. And it truly showed at their first Model UN simulation in Germany later in the year. At the conference, they represented Austria in the General Assembly, the Human Rights Council, and the International Atomic Energy Agency. As the Austrian delegation, UCU students received an honorable mention award, and they also received a position paper award for their high level of research and position preparation. This was a remarkable achievement for a first-year delegation. I truly hope that the partnership between MacEwan and UCU can continue over the next decades. I am certain that it will create a stronger tie and longer-lasting relationships. The value that I took from UCU's faculty and its legacy of excellence, and especially its students, is a resounding testament to the future of Ukraine. There is no doubt that UCU and its students will soon become a formidable force on the international stage. I am honored to have worked so closely with UCU and hope to have more opportunities like this. I believe that the UCU students will be a force to be reckoned with throughout the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley. Another generous donation just came in from the Plost Ukrainian Scouts of Calgary. Thank you, Plost. And speaking of Scouts, Scouts spend a lot of time in the Canadian Rocky Mountains, drawing inspiration and spiritual energy from these great vistas. During the pandemic, there was record attendance in our national and provincial mountain parks as Albertans visited the clear waters and invigorating air. Ukrainians know the same feeling. Oksana Mukha sings of the cherished Carpathian Mountains in the West. Here once again is Oksana Mukha.
Володимир Івасюк, «Я піду в далекі гори». Пісня, яка у всьому світі об'єднує українців. Співаючи її, ми відчуваємо надзвичайну радість в душі. Тому для вас сьогодні «Я піду в далекі гори». Я піду в далекі гори, на широкі полонини, і попрошу вітру з ворів, аби він не спав до днини, щоб летів на вільних крилах, на Кичери і в Діброви, і дізнався, де моя мила, карі очі, чорні брови. Мила моя, люба моя, світи ясен світ. Я несу в очах до тебе весь блакитний світ. Я несу любов сажуру, мрію молоду, і цвітуть сади для мене, як до тебе йду.
як вітер з полонини, полетіти не захоче все одно. Знайду дівчину, чорні брови, карі очі, перейду я бистрі ріки, і Бескиди, і Діброви, і шляхи мені покажуть карі очі, чорні брови. Мила моя, люба моя, світи ясен цвіт, я несу в очах до тебе весь блакитний світ, я несу любов зажуру, мрію молоду, і цвітуть сади для мене, як до тебе йду. Nada, 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 nada.
Thanks, Oksana. Дякую. This is truly an international event tonight, and the technical support and the organization spans 3 countries. Here in Calgary, of course, in Toronto, in Lviv, and also a huge thank you to Roman Vascu on Long Island in New York. He is the one who's flipping back and forth between the live and the pre-recorded and keeping all of you online. I would also like to share that we have, as of right now, 72 people watching on the Zoom feed and 32 people watching on YouTube. Now, I shouldn't say 32 people, that's 32 connections. There's probably a lot of people sitting around on their couch, eating their borscht, and perhaps having some wine and enjoying this event. Of course, listening to our guests, we certainly realize how important it is to support UCU students. Funds raised this evening will go towards scholarships. The average cost per year for a student can be upwards of $6,000 Canadian dollars, inclusive of room and board. That's why we're here, helping. Please keep your donations coming in. Every dollar counts. Now here's Yuri to introduce our keynote speaker.
Thank you, Michael. UCU recently has become a university that government and corporations are closely watching. They look to UCU for the best young talent, for know-how, and for leadership skills. Graduates of UCU have already become leaders in Ukraine. They are truly making a difference. And we are honored to have one of the graduates with us this evening who is basically making a difference on the top level. Natalia Pipa graduated from UCU's Good Governance College, and just 1 year after graduation, she was elected to the Verkhovna Rada, the Ukrainian parliament. In August 2019, she was sworn as the parliamentary deputy for education. Natalia is very passionate about UCU, and she tells that UCU is the place where she learned how to get things done. Natalia is the proof that UCU is serious about teaching and encouraging leaders who will make changes in Ukraine. That is UCU strong. Natalia and 6 other UCU graduates now sit in the Ukrainian parliament and actually are in the forefront of implementing real democratic reforms. Natalia Pipa's contribution to Ukraine in this short space of time confirms the belief in the strength of UCU and its vision for the next generation. We proudly bring you our keynote speaker, the member of Ukrainian Parliament, Natalia Pipa.
Dear friends, I am glad to welcome all the participants of this meeting, all the friends of UCU in Canada. It's a great honor for me to address you today. I am happy every time when I have to talk about education, children and students. After all, our future is in the hands of these people. It's very important to support young people, inspire and motivate them to win and achieve, both personally and in the interest of society. It's really very important. I'm proud to be a graduate of this Ukrainian Catholic University. From the first day of my studies here, I felt that UCU is not just about studying, it's about respect for each other, about ethical and common human values, about свідчити, служити і спілкуватись, about this society educates not just good people, but real professionals to serve in Ukraine and abroad. The internal atmosphere of this university is very important, and it's hard to talk what is more important, atmosphere or knowledges. And you know that the source of creating a culture of hospitality, openness and transparency at UCU is the Christian values on which the university is built, on which my family is built. Much of what I discovered while studying here later proved invaluable to me. It was at UCU that I realized what I wanted to do with my life. Before it, I worked in insurance business, and after that, I worked in non-governmental organization and in politics today. It was here that I felt that my vocation was to be useful to society. That is why I became a public activist first and later a parliamentarian. Now, looking back, I realized that studying at UCU was one of the best decisions of my life. Today, I am a member of the Ukrainian Parliament, Верховна Рада України. I am reforming education. My goal is to make Ukrainian education high quality and the profession of a teacher prestigious. I was very shocked when not a lot member of parliament think in the same way. In the parliament, I am working to create specialized senior classes of the new Ukrainian school, тобто нової української школи, НУШ. I want high school students in Ukraine, and as in most developed countries, to be able to choose their future profession at school. Last year in Parliament, I was able to make an important step in this direction. Together with the Ministry of Education, we have developed the concept of specialized schools for senior classes, and now I am working to make this concept a reality. I am sure that this will improve the quality of our education and increase the motivation of students to learn. If we talk about higher education institutions, about 60,000 foreign students study in Ukraine every year. But the big problem is that these students come to us not for quality education, but for cheap. Unfortunately, such high-quality universities as UCU are not enough in Ukraine. This is a big problem to be solved. I am very sorry that education is not a priority in our country yet, and I am trying to change it. This year, due to the coronavirus pandemic, Ukrainian education lost part of its funding, government funding. The government was forced to take such a step, but as an educated parliamentarian, I could not allow that. With great efforts, we managed to return part of the funding and paid salaries for all employees of educational institutions. For understanding, it was near 6.6 milliards of hryvnias and returned just 1.6 million of hryvnias. I get a lot of messages where educators thank me for my tough stance on this, and I understand that I owe my ability to defend a fair decision and achieve goals to UCU. I have been working in Parliament for only a year, so I have many more educational initiatives. But above all, I want to maintain and implement the good educational reform of previous years, such as internal independent evaluation, ЗНО, зовнішнє незалежне оцінювання, that used UCU too, which I consider one of the best reforms in Ukraine since independence. The acting Minister of Education of Ukraine, Serhiy Shkarlit, wants to devalue this reform, and return the corruption in higher education. But I will to trap the NO. I communicate a lot with young people, with students of UCU and other universities. The young generation of Ukraine seeks global change. Unfortunately, due to the difficult political situation in Ukraine, they are not always confident even in their own future, but it will definitely be. Our meeting today is called UCU Strong Beyond COVID. Yes, we are strong. The virus has forced people to change their usual way of life. But there is also good news. The COVID erased the borders. People who are thousands of miles apart or even in different parts of the world are nearby online. And it no longer seems strange or inconvenient to us. Now our opportunities are global. I want to thank UCU once again. I thank all of you, the participants of today's meeting, today's evening, for your support of UCU, in particular scholarship for students. Thank you for your faith in Ukraine. Ukraine education has a future. Все буде Україна.
That was excellent. Thank you, Natalia. And certainly, Natalia Pippa gives us hope and confidence that there are good and gifted people shaping the future of Ukraine. If it hasn't already been mentioned, it's worth mentioning again that Natalia is one of 7 UCU graduates currently in the Ukrainian parliament. And with the track record that UCU has, I'm certain that there will be many, many more in the coming years. Natalia's determination to improve education is very enlightening. She is right when she says that the future of Ukraine is in its young people. That's why we're here today. We're providing scholarships to worthy students, including some of the top students in Ukraine. We hope that Natalia Pippa has given you another great reason to support UCU. Roman, if we could please see the thermometer again. In the meantime, I'd like to share some more messages. One anonymously, I have no doubt that UCU's focus on ethics and the training of a new generation of leaders will change not only the future of Ukraine, but also the whole world. They are a shining example of courage and strength. And you can still call Oksana at 1-866-871-8007. If the line is busy, please try again. She's being a little bit overwhelmed, which is great to see. Or please send a private comment in the message box and someone from our group will call you. We're certainly happy with very pleased with the support that the university and UCEF is receiving tonight. Again, you can donate at ucef.ca, ucef.ca. And we have another treat from our UCU student group. And certainly from the comments, the entertainment is being well received. Morgan Johnson from Calgary writes, the pianist was amazing. I agree. Alex Kuzma writes, we have been enjoying all the musicians and the testimonials. So with that, we bring back on Simeon's Pillars. Again, they have a lively number, Yak Ya Su Zaspivam, a folk song from the Lemko region of Western Ukraine. Here again is Simeon's Pillars.
Як я си заспівав 3 голосами. Єдин піде верхом, другий піде низом, третій долиною. Гей-гей! Єдин піде верхом, другий піде низом, третій долиною. Як я си заспівав, далеко м'ячу ти, як я си заспівав, далеко м'ячу ти. Подий, мій маленький, воли навернути, гей-гей! Подий, мій маленький, воли навернути, воли навернула, а сама мси сіла. Воли навернула, а сама мси сіла. Подий, мій маленький, щось бим та й повіла. Гей-гей! Подий, мій маленький, щось бим та й повіла. Повіла бим тобі файну новиноньку. Повіла бим тобі файну новиноньку. Аби си поглядав іншу дівчиноньку. Гей-гей! сию ж знайшла, аби си поглядав, бо я сию ж знайшла. Більше тя не буду, більше тя не буду, оченьками пасла, гей-гей! Більше тя не буду, більше тя не буду, оченьками пасла, оченьками пасла, за ручку водила, оченьками пасла, за ручку водила. Більше тя не буду, більше тя не буду, мій милий любила, гей-гей! Більше тя не буду, більше тя не буду, мій милий любила.
I'd like to share another comment from the comment box. One viewer says, I don't want this to be over. She's enjoying it so much. That's fantastic. And certainly I'd like to thank everyone again for their contributions of time, talent, and treasure. And if certainly we all have at least one of those, and in some way we can all contribute to the success and the future of the Ukrainian Catholic University and our home country of Ukraine. We are honored to welcome one of UKU's builders, Metropolitan Boris Gudyak, Metropolitan for the Ukrainian Catholic Church in the United States. Metropolitan Boris was born and educated in the United States and is a graduate of Harvard and Syracuse universities. He is now president of the Ukrainian Catholic University in Lviv. He has also been our guest in Calgary on a number of occasions at these receptions. We welcome Metropolitan Gudyak.
Slava Isusu Christu. Dear Calgary, dear Canada, dear friends, it's a joy to be with you. Just seeing the people from St. Mary's University and seeing your faces, I remember the warmth of your hospitality on a number of occasions coming to Calgary. And it's really good to be together. I think we all have been enduring pandemic blues, and the music, good news, the positive attitude that is being shared tonight is an antidote, maybe the best antidote, because these are all signs of God's blessing. Very grateful to Bishop David for his words of greeting and his prayers, to Mr. Ilnitsky, to Mr. Roman and the UCEF staff who support the faculty and students of UCU. You know, I've been thinking, what is happening with the university and with the country? I left full-time work at UCU 8 years ago, and in those 8 years, the university has tripled. The number of buildings is 3 times as big. The number of staff is 3 times as big. Actually, the number of programs is, I think, 4 times. And the students' body has tripled. And, you know, I kind of think I should have probably left earlier because the growth would have begun sooner. But it isn't really a question of quantity. It really is a phenomenon of quality. And whether it's the smiles and heart of the students, people like Yurko Gidula, who is leading this wonderful project of building Ukraine together in the war-devastated areas, whether it is the 500 priests that have graduated from UCU. Can you imagine that? 500 priests. That's as many as there are, actually more than there are in the US and Canada, and 9 eparchies put together. And they're well trained, at least 6 or 7 years of studies. Some have 10 or 12 years of studies. And we see them, you know, throughout North America, throughout the Canadian eparchies, but also in the whole world. Women theologians. For the first time in 1,000 years of Christian history, at UCU, women are getting a degree in theology in their whole own land, Ukrainian women. That's revolutionary. There's over 400 women who have been graduated with theology degrees, and some of them are already professors of theology. Incredible students. The faculty are intellectual leaders in the country, thought leaders, visionaries, leaders in the social discourse. The architecture of UKU has become a model. Most recently, last month, the Sheptytsky Institute won another prize. Some leading cultural commentators in 2017 said the cultural event of Ukraine was the opening of the Sheptytsky Institute, which was founded by a very generous Canadian, James Tamerdy. Last month, the Sheptytsky Center won a prize for being the most handicap accessible building in Lviv. That's setting a standard. The publications, the social outreach, working with the marginalized, especially the mentally handicapped, and this whole network of friendship, whether it is academic relations like with St. Mary's, or with the Calgary Friends, the Canadian Friends, UCEF in Canada. There are 20 cities in the world that have committees supporting the university. And this is all mutually enriching, mutually catalyzing. UKU has become like a tugboat. It represents a little less than 2% of the Lviv student body. Lviv has over 130,000 students, and UKU has about 2,000 students. So it's a little less than 2% of the Lviv student body. But like a tugboat, the Ukrainian Catholic University is actually pulling all of Ukraine's higher education. A tugboat, can have about 6,000 or 7,000 horsepower. There are tugboats that can pull aircraft carriers, tiny, tiny little boats, moving objects that are hundreds, if not thousands of times bigger. UKU is moving the bar in higher education. And of course, higher education is moving and will be moving in the future the whole country. And that is the beauty of evenings like today and fellowship like we share, and the generosity of people like you. The Calgary Friends, all the UCEF Canada friends, bit by bit. Maybe sometimes it's very small, maybe it's a widow's mite, but it contributes to the tugboat effect. Moving incredible realities, giving them sail, getting them out of hardship, breaking through ice, and giving so much hope. Every time I have a chance in these months to have some contact with the global UKU world, I'm encouraged, because this COVID time is not easy for all of us. And we remember all those who have died and all those who are sick. We here in Philadelphia lost our Metropolitan Emeritus in April. The Philadelphia Archieparchy has lost about 50 parishioners. And we have news about people being taken from us almost daily, friends, neighbors, relatives. But God is giving life. God is giving us these young people that believe, that want to serve, that are attentive, that are talented, they're smiling, and the help of our foundation in Canada and of our committees and of our individual donors allows them to be real tugboats for an entire nation. I think it's good to remember that there is a major effect of each little act of good. and the UCU leadership team under Rector Father Bohdan Prak has done an amazing job in crisis management during the pandemic, keeping up morale, keeping all the programs going, having one of the best online programs in the country, having the best incoming class of Ukraine this September. And my hats are off. I'm inspired. I am encouraged. And my heart is full of gratitude for all of God's graces that he sends through you, to you, and to us through you. So God bless you all, and thank you again for your time and your generosity.
Metropolitan Kujak, thank you for your kind words. I didn't realize that you would be presenting live, so that's a tremendous treat for us and a testimony to the dedication that you have to the Ukrainian Catholic University. And the friends of the Calgary Friends of the Ukrainian Catholic University certainly welcome you to Calgary anytime. And for those of you that are watching online, please make an effort to meet Metropolitan Kujak in person and to hear him speak. He is such a gentle soul and a wonderful individual. And Metropolitan Kujak, may God bless you and grant you many, many years. And with that, Roman, if we could pick up the thermometer again, please. I have some welcome news, and I do have to admit that as a member of the Plost Ukrainian Youth Association, when I made that announcement, I was convinced that our friends at SUM, the Ukrainian, another Ukrainian youth organization, would see that and not only match the challenge, but I've been told that they've exceeded the donation that Plost has made. So SUM, thank you very much. Now that forces me to go back to the board of Plost and to match SUM's donation. So we'll have a little bit of fun with that. Some friendly competition in reaching our goal. We're very close to reaching our goal. And please share the information that you've learned tonight with your friends and with your family and the people that weren't here. Encourage them to learn about UCU. Taras Shevchenko wrote, "Учіться, брати мої, думайте, читайте, чужого научайтесь. Learn, think, read, educate your neighbor." I had some editorial liberalizations with the interpretation. However, together, we will continue to meet the needs of the Ukrainian Catholic University. Thank you for your participation tonight and for your donations. On behalf of Yuri Dudula and myself, I would like to thank the Calgary Friends of the Ukrainian Catholic University for their trust in our stewardship of tonight's evening. We will conclude with Father Greg Farina from the Church of St. Stephen's, Ukrainian Proto-Martyr in Calgary, with the final prayer, followed by my father and chair of the Calgary Friends group, who you met earlier tonight, Andrew Olnitsky, who will provide his final comments to conclude the evening. Yuri, the final word as co-MC is to you.
Thank you, Michael. You know, at the beginning, I was afraid that I will be falling asleep. And now I'm afraid I will not be able to go back to sleep. There's so much positive energy present in this virtual but very spirited community. And I just, not as an MC, but as a graduate and a student of UCU, I want to thank once again to the Calgary community of friends. I assume that me personally and 4 of my siblings have gained because of your generosity. 5 of us studied at UCU, and 5 of us are engaged in community life in Ukraine. My sister just graduated this year, and she now dedicated 1 year of volunteering in one of the villages near Lviv, where she works with the people from the state orphanage and where she tries to give life to the youngest and most vulnerable groups of people in the village. And I think most of the, I would say all of the graduates of UCU truly feel that mission and are ready to accomplish it. And I just want to thank you for your support and for staying with us in this important social mission and cause. Thank you. And we pass on to Father Gregory for the final prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Богородице Діво, радуйся, благодатна Марія, Господь з тобою, благословена ти між жінками, і благословене плід лона Твого, бо ти породила Христа Спаса і Збавителя душ наших. Most Holy Mother of God, intercede for and protect the Ukrainian Catholic University and all of its sponsors. Пресвятая Богородице, спаси нас.
Now the time has come for us to express a series of thank yous. I'm going to try to be brief. Thank everyone for joining our broadcast tonight. I first of all would like to thank Metropolitan Boris and all of the presenters this evening who made excellent presentations, very informative and very entertaining. I want to thank our MCs, Mikhail Ilnichki here in Calgary and Yuri Gidula in Lviv, the UCU staff, Olga Zerichinska with the development department, and Kristina Bachinska and her comanda for all of their hard work, contribution, and for their cooperation with us in this effort. I also thank Pan Roman Vashkiu in New York, who's been our switcher of all the videos. Thank you for doing a phenomenal job. I know you're kind of run off your feet. And also I thank the staff of UCEF in Toronto, who were very helpful to us despite all the tribulations of COVID. I know that we were sending out gift packs to the registrants, and we had quite a surge of registrations in the last few days, and we're not able to get the packages out in time to everyone, but I assure you that those are being mailed. And if you don't receive yours by next Thursday, please give us a call. We'll make sure you get it delivered to you. Of course, I would like to thank all of our donors for being so very generous. I don't know whether Pan Roman can flip the chart up for us, the result chart. But last time I looked at it, we were around 77%. We had a target of reaching 30 scholarships, equivalent semester scholarships. I think we're at about 25 or so. So we have a few more to go. We will continue our campaign. We will be appealing to those individuals who weren't able to be with us tonight online to help us get over the top. I also want to thank our committee, the Calgary Friends of UCU. First of all, I start by thanking all of our clergy who are cheerleaders for us, who are always supporting us and always very helpful. And in particular, I'd like to acknowledge Father Petro Babé in Edmonton, who has been a great help to our group here while he was in Calgary and now from his position in Edmonton. We have a very active volunteer committee. I'd like to mention that most of the committee members do not speak Ukrainian, and at least half of them have not been to Ukraine. And yet they're very, very enthusiastic about UCU. I'd like to, in particular, mention a few people here. Ed Kurkiewski, who's been with us from day one, and Don Bobbin, who was here from day two. I thank both of you for your inspiration, for your guidance, and for your advice over these last 12 years. I also acknowledge Deborah Johnson, who's our treasurer. I'd like to acknowledge Michael Daniluk, who was in charge of quality assurance for tonight, and everything worked more or less according to plan. And Maria Lizak, who was our backup host to Roman. In case there was a power failure in New York, Maria would have been doing the switching here. And of course, we owe a great debt of gratitude to our producer, our director, our editor, Donna Korchinski. I'm going to call on Deborah to present Donna with a floral gift on behalf of all of us. This will be filmed separately, and we'll dub that into the ultimate YouTube video. So Deborah is presenting the flowers to Donna at this time. Thank you. And you know, we had the prayer today from Father Greg, and I thank Father Greg for that. I will mention that we're all praying for the day when we can all get together to worship in church and also to meet at a live banquet. We don't know when that day is going to happen, but we pray that it comes soon. And tonight we'd like to share a segment of a previous event that we had in 2018. Just a closing prayer that we had was the prayer for Ukraine, Boże Veliki Yedini. This is by the Surma Choir of the Assumption Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church in Calgary under the direction of Irina Kalinovich. We'll end our evening with that segment from our 2018 event. And afterwards, Pandraman will play 2 or 3 other selections that we invite the viewers, if you want to continue watching. And thank you for your time and for being with us tonight. Na все добре.
Господь з неба, із неба на землю, із неба на землю. неба на землю. Та й став царствувати, та й став царствувати, та й став царствувати. Ангели з неба затрубили в труби, затрубили в труби, затрубили в труби, і з гробів устали всі мертві душі, всі мертві душі, всі мертві душі, всі мертві душі. Господь судить буде, Господь судить буде, Господь судить буде, що праведні душі. Станьте у правую, станьте у правую, станьте у правую, а грішні душі станьте у лівую, станьте у лівую, станьте у лівую, що праведні душі.